Hello, dear viewers. Let's stroll around the zoo today. Now, I'm not taking you there, but on the screen, we'll see the zoo with a little more insightful manner. What is it? A tiger in the zoo. That is a wonderful poem. And we'll see what is there. But before we start and see the introduction of the poet, I get to remember that wonderful poem. You must read that also. Of course, that is not in your syllabus and concern. But then William Blake, Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright, even that is also wonderful. Set apart from it, like now we will venture into the realm of the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, as well as the poet's history. We'll see. George Leslie Norris was born in 1921 and stayed here with us till 2006, and then was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. He's considered as most important Welsh writers of the post-war period, and his literary works have won many prizes. A very famous name. His famous works are Finding Gold, The Loud Winder, Phoenix, Living Poet series, Ransoms, etc. So this is what? A short introduction of George, and now we'll see what George's pen has offered through the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. The poem written by Norris explains the agony and helplessness of a caged tiger. Here he's talking about the anger or the pain, unsaid pain of the tiger who is caged in the zoo. The poet explains what his life could be if it were a free animal. Had the tiger been free, it would have been a different scene. But here this tiger is helpless because the tiger has few yards to walk upon. The poet has tried to explain about the condition of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun, and how silly and senseless and without the call of sensibility it is when we cage animals for our own fun. This is what here this poem is working as a satire, the poet's dissatisfaction, and a message for human being, a tiger in the zoo. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on the beds of velvet, quiet in his quiet rage. He stalks in his vivid stripes, those lines, those stripes over the body of the tiger's description of it with the word vivid. Vivid means visible, nice, bright stripes. The few steps of his cage, and he has quite a limited, this area where this tiger can walk till the fence, coming back to the other side of the fence, and that's what the world of a caged tiger remains. Quite different from the world of forest that they are born into. On pads of velvet quiet, and there is a description of the stripes as well as the velvet pad, the legs of the tiger as well as the paws of the tigers, and then they are very quietly moving without making any sound. So this quietude emphasized over here in these lines actually show how much wordless or speechless, or how much just feeling so sad and dismayed that this tiger does not want to say anything. So quiet. In his quiet rage, the rage of the tiger is otherwise. If the tigers are at rage, the whole world is awake. They just growl, and then they are all roaring and all that. But here this tiger is, his rage is also very quiet. Quite a pitiable scene. He should be lurking in shadow. Shadow means where there is night, and he is lurking around, just trying to attack, just trying to find his prey and all that in the jungle, not here. He should be lurking where? In the jungle, had the tiger been out. But here there is no lurking thing happening. But this is what the poet feels. Had the tiger been out, it would have been lurking around the shadows, sliding through long grass near the water hole, or where we have seen the tigers in the jungle. Most of the tigers in the jungle are either seen calculating their wit for catching upon their prey, lurking around the shadows in the night, as well as around those animals which the tiger feels like, getting at and making a prey. And here, either not there, if not there, then it could have been near the water hole. The water holes, wherever these tigers get to take water in the jungle, in the natural surroundings. So it could have been there. Either, sliding through the long grass near the water hole, or should be lurking in the shadow where plump deer pass. So, the tigers could have been looking for the plump, fatty deer so that they can feed themselves upon those deer's prey. But then it's not happening here. The life in the cage is totally different. He should be snarling around houses at jungle's edge, or either, snarling is a kind of noise that the tiger otherwise makes. If not in the jungle, if the tiger chances up to come near human accommodations, so it just, snarls around the houses at the jungle's edge, barring his white face fangs. And, he's just showing all his fangs and everything there, showing his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. And, with his claws and fangs and this entire royal appearance, these tigers could have been terrorizing the entire village. But how sad, it's not happening. These tigers, this particular tiger is in the cage with the few yard world. That's what the poet is feeling sad about. But he's locked in a concrete cell. Here the cage is described as the concrete cell. His strength behind bars, and his strength cannot come out. Barred, just stopped. Stalking the length of his cage, stalking, moving only the length of the cage, ignoring visitors, and he's ignoring the visitors. He's not happy, the people who come around, and we often see when we go to zoo, we just try to offer various things, maybe biscuits or this or that, but then tiger takes no notice of anything because he's bored. Caged, imprisoned, naturally bored also. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. And he sees the patrolling cars and everything, but he keeps on staring at up above and looking at the shining stars, brilliant stars. Now, after the poem is over, we come to the literary devices. The rhyme scheme is ABCB. Enjambment is used. Line continues to next line without punctuation marks, sliding through deer pass. And then alliteration, use of sound P, plump pass. Imagery, the poet has tried to create an image of tiger's activities like lurking in the shadow and all that. So with this, now we come to the literary devices, and the literary devices implied here in a tiger in the zoo is the rhyme scheme first analysis, ABCB, and then enjambment, continuation of the particular phrase in the next line without a pause. Enjambment is visible there in sliding through deer pass. Alliteration, the use of P at the start of two words, plump pass. Imagery, the poet has tried to create an image of tiger's activity, lurking in the shadow and all that. So imagery is also there. We can visualize that scene, how tiger is going, moving, had it been outside in the jungle. With this, the poet comes to an end, and my explanation also comes to an end. I hope you must have enjoyed. Thank you so much.